What's up, gang? Welcome to the world of electric scooters, and today we got two beautiful scooters, the Navee, the ST3, and the GT3. And in today's video, we're gonna figure out which one is the best one for your type of riding style. They're both really sick, they both go pretty fast, so let's get in today's video. First up, let's talk about the power and performance. The GT3 comes equipped with a 350 watt motor peaking at 700 watt, giving you a top speed of 20 miles per hour. On the flip side, the ST3 packs a bit more of a punch with a 500 watt motor reaching up to 1000 watt peak power. It can hit up to 20 miles per hour, so if you're craving an extra little boost, the ST3 might be for you. Now let's talk about comfort. The GT3 features front and rear double tube spring shock absorbers. The ST3 steps it up with a front and rear swing arm rubber shock absorber, offering a plush ride even on those rough terrains or off-road sections you're going through. These shock absorbers are legit. As you can see, they're a bit bigger than the GT3 and a bit stronger to give you more of a plush ride.
But man, the suspension, bro, like look, I'm hitting bunny hops and like I'm not close to bottoming out at all, bro. Like the suspension on this thing is crazy. And this is the GT3. The ST3 has even better suspension. Hopefully it can handle off-road. Okay. It's not bad, bro. Going around 10 miles per hour in some pretty thick grass. A little uphill. Barely made that. We barely made the uphill. So if you're in between the GT3 or the ST3 Navee scooter, one big upside of the ST3, it has front and rear disc brakes. And this one only has front brakes, so it's a little sketchy stopping, like watch me stop. Like it works, don't get me wrong. It works, but like, oh, I wanted to say it has drum. So as you can see, it got drum brakes on it. Hopefully y'all can see it. Nothing on the rear, which, as you know, like I would rather have a rear brake than just a front brake. That would be a big reason to get the ST3 over this.
The battery is crucial, right? Well, the GT3 offers a max range of 31 miles thanks to its 48 volt 7.65 amp hour battery. If you're planning for longer trips, the ST3 has you covered with a 48 volt 10.2 amp hour battery, extending your ride up to 37.3 miles when the GT3 goes around 30 miles.
We both got our scooters. But man, just like a commuter to get around town, this thing is perfect, bro. As you've seen, I just seen a lady with a freaking scooter. Hers only goes 15 though. This one goes 20. And it got full suspension. That's the cool thing about this. It's got full suspension, so you could really hit some bumps and it not even affect you. And it has a nice area to stand. I'm 6 foot and my shoe size is about 10.5, and as you can see, we got a lot of room, bro. The bar height is like up to my waist. I mean, even if you're smaller, you could definitely fit on it, bro. Like, you could ride this thing like you could be 3 feet tall and ride this thing, bro. But look, little sidewalk hitter now. And that's what this thing is made for. Just, you know, cruising A to B, hitting some bumps and not really affect you. Because that's the thing, a scooter with no suspension is pretty scary, bro. But with this suspension, it just makes it so much more comfortable and safe. And you might be thinking, yo, is 20 miles per hour fast enough? And bro, when you're on the sidewalk, like, that's plenty, bro. Any faster is just too much for a sidewalk hitter. So I do want to show y'all real quick. So this is the GT3. As you've seen, it's got front and rear suspension, but the rear suspension on the ST3, and even the front suspension on the ST3, is definitely a little more stronger, a little more durable. But this suspension does fine. This is better than nothing, man. Like, it really does soak up all the bumps. I'm about to hop on the ST3, so I'll really show you guys the difference. But so far, they feel pretty similar. So let me show you guys the handlebars. As you can see, we've got the blinkers right here. You can go on each side. You could put it in regular mode, walking mode, or sport mode. So this is walking mode. As you can see, I am barely moving. This is drive. I think drive is 12 miles per hour. So yeah, this is drive, 12 miles per hour. Nothing too crazy. And then we got sport mode, which is the full 20, which is probably what you want to be on.
Another thing I love about the Navee scooters is how portable they are. The GT3 weighs in at 46 pounds, while the ST3 weighs in at a little bit heavier with a 54.7 pounds. But when they fold up, they become very small and you'll be able to fit it in a car super easy. One thing I want to mention is the ST, as you can see, it has a latch right here, which is actually incredible because it locks the handlebars from moving. And the GT3, as you can see, there's no latch, so it sort of just sits here. So when you want to pick it up, you have to pick it up by the bottom. And on the GT3, you can just pick it up like that.
Bro. Oh boy. Yeah, I can already feel the improvement with the ST3. So they say this one has a bigger motor, but to be honest, they're going the same speed. They're both going 20 miles per hour. So I'm not sure what's with that, but the suspension on this thing is just incredible. And you got tons of deck space like the GT3. But what I really like, you got this rear like kicker where you can put your foot. And the GT3 didn't have that. But the ST3, it's a little more sporty. You got front and rear brakes too, which I really like. Let's hit this freaking. Yoo! So yeah, we have rear brakes, bro. We got rear disc brakes, which is just incredible. You want to see that. I want to see, especially with something that can go 20 miles per hour, I want some disc brakes. And I thought they had disc brakes on the front too, but it's just drum brakes like the GT3. I ain't gonna lie, just having that rear brake really makes such a big difference. Like, look at the stopping speed. It's just not as scary to hit both brakes because you know it's gonna stop. And if you just hit the front brake, sometimes you want to flip. These bikes also have traction control, which I have off because, ooh, look at that wheelie, bro. I have off because who wants traction control, bro? We want to rip. We want that thing to slide. Hello. But man, both of these scooters are just great for commuting, man. Getting around town. You don't got to worry about popo. If you have a little bit rougher ground, I would definitely recommend the ST3. The ST3 on rougher ground is way better than the GT3. Yeah! Just that suspension and rear brake really makes a difference, bro. And of course, this one has a bigger motor and more amp hours in the battery, which helps a lot compared to the GT3. The GT3 is just like a step below this one. Either one you get, you'll be fine, but it's sort of like, what do you want to specialize your scooter in? If you got more off-road, if you have more like, you know, stuff like this, bumpy ground you got to go over, definitely get the ST3, bro, because it just handles these bumps like nothing. Like, I feel like I'm riding on a cloud, bro. I really feel like I'm on a cloud.
Alright, let's talk tech. Both the GT3 and ST3 come packed with smart features to make your ride smoother and more connected. The integrated LED dashboard gives you real-time speed, battery life, and riding mode updates at a glance. And with the Navee app, you get a full control of adjusting your brake strength, switch between riding modes, and even lock your scooter remotely for extra security. And with the Navee app, you can keep tabs on your battery status, enable cruise control, and even adjust brake settings for a tailored experience. So one last cool feature I wanted to talk about the ST3, it has like a kinetic recovery system in it. So when you hit your brakes, it actually recharges the battery, which is just super cool. So every time you hit your brakes, you're charging your battery up little by little to extend your ride.
Alrighty gang, we just got back to the crib, and man, both of these scooters are sick. We got the Navee GT3 right here, the Navee ST3. And which one do I prefer? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The ST3, that rear brake, the better suspension, and just a little bit more power makes a huge difference. So the winner would be the ST3. But let's say you just got to commute to work, you don't really have bumpy roads, you want a bike that's a little bit cheaper that can still do pretty much everything the ST3 can, the GT3 is for you. It's still got suspension. The only really thing that this one is missing that the ST3 has is that rear brake. And for me, that's such a big thing because stopping power, when you're on these, cars pull out in front of you, like a lot of stuff can happen, so you want that stopping power. And with this one, it only has the front drum brake, which I really wish they would have put a rear brake on this. I feel like it almost needs it in a way. But yeah, besides that, they're both really fun. They both go 20 miles per hour. But as you can see on the GT3, it doesn't really have this lip where you can put your foot. And on the ST3, you have this nice lip where you can put your foot. So the ST3 just has a few features that really improve the bike a lot and make it the #1 pick, I would say. But like I said, if you're just commuting, you don't really have much traffic around you, the road isn't too crazy, you're not really like too crazy bumpy, you're not really going off-road that much, this is a nice option for you too, man. It's definitely a little cheaper price point, so that helps, but of course you lose some of those features. But man, if you guys are interested in these scooters, I'll have a discount link in the description below, hopefully. I'll also have a link to the Navee scooters in the description down below, so check that out. But man, yeah, these scooters were sick, really fun to rip. So if y'all are interested, check out that link. I freaking love you. Stay motivated, stay disciplined. Till next time, peace.